Hello everyone, welcome to day 6 of the Maine yarn cruise. And we are back to the lovely weather again. The dog was actually okay when I went up after yesterday's video because the dog was given a chill pill. Literally. She was the calmest I've ever seen her. But today we're on the home stretch here. It's the last day I'm visiting like a bunches of stores. And the goal is after today to only have one store left to go to. So my plan is to actually hit 4 stores today, although they are like all 2 hours away. But I think once I get into the general vicinity of one of them, they're all going to be like closer to each other and I won't be spending as much time on the road today, which is nice because yesterday was a lot of time on the road. I just gotta choose some music now, set up the instructions, and I am good to drive. I just came out of One Lupine Maine Fibers, which actually appears to be 2 stores into one. There's like a separate room just for all the yarn and a room for like various gifts and things like that. I didn't bother searching through the gifts once I found out the yarn was a separate store. I found some really nice yarns here. So I'd gotten Jagger Spun earlier in the yarn cruise, but the marketing behind the Jagger Spun was pretty good. This one, like these two actually, were put in a bin that said these are the single ladies to the last of their dye lot and they're 10% off. So obviously it worked on me. I got this. So this is raspberry, like the red one is raspberry and what's the blue one? Starry Night. Starry Night. And then they actually have their own yarn here. So this was part of a shawl kit. I ended up asking for the pattern, but I mean, look at that. You can tell that's like a nice stamp. And it's a very nice shawl that they had it like on display, and it's like, you know what? That looks like that has some interesting stitches for me. So the pinkish one is Cancun, and the greener one is Tealy Teal. It kind of looks bluer on camera than it is in person. In person, it looks really green. And then I got these 2 skeins, which are from Green Mountain Spinnery. Now, Green Mountain Spinnery is local per se. It's in Vermont. I'm not gonna have a chance to go to Green Mountain Spinnery, I don't think. But it's nice. This is actually the first I've actually seen their yarn sold in one of these stores, which is pretty cool. Although now Green Mountain Spinnery is on my bucket list now that I know what a cool place that is. This is also another yarn made in the store. This is actually a hand spun merino silk sari silk. It is hand spun in the store. The person telling me that someone named Bristol spun this together in the store. Also, the ones from Maine Lupine, like Maine Fibers, One Lupine, they actually dye it in the store. They dye it down in the basement of the store, which is pretty cool. And then I got this nice little sparkly skein. I mean, this is like, ooh, impulse buy, but it's like, it's so soft. It feels like a merino wool, honestly. But I mean, look at that sparkle. And then I got some roving. So this was just like $4, just this. It's pretty nice. Then they had some amazing colorways. This is called Summer Skies. It's so pretty, so vibrant. And then they had this other one. This is called Old Growth. I mean, look at that dark green. And I mean, imagine mixing it with the white and spinning it. You can get all various shades of green that way. Of course, I'm still just a beginner spinner, honestly. Some of these rovings I've been buying, I might not be able to do them justice just yet, but hey, I've got stuff to play around in. I don't want to have to save it till I'm good enough, you know? Screw good enough, just good is fine. Willing to try is fine. And then I got this roving. This is Wash Fleece from a California Variegated Mutant. It's about 8 ounces. And this stuff, I'm definitely going to have to card. I got some carders at home, so I can use that for that. But also, if I get more into felting, I've got a little bit of variety to get some weird curly hairs, yeah. I could, if I spent some time carding that, I could see that turning into a really nice yarn. It's a very friendly store. Like, both people who worked there greeted me. It was very nice. At this point, like, I did already stop by 2 rest areas today, but because it's hot. It's really, really hot. But I think I'm now like within the vicinity that it's not going to take that long to get to the next store, which I'm super stoked about. I just came out of Shirley's Yarn and Gifts. I am right next to a highway if you constantly hear the cars that are going by. I found some good yarns at the store. So I'm actually going to start with the thing that's not in the bag. So I got a wool winder. I keep seeing these everywhere. I did not realize they were a thing until I went online and saw everyone making reels with them on Instagram. And it's like, you know what? That'd be a fun tool to try. So I kept seeing them, and today I finally like bit the bullet and got it. I also got this bag. I bought the bag separately. It was not a free bag, but they had like a bunch of yarn related bags, and it's like, you know what? I can make use of this bag. Basically, the vibe of Shirley's Yarns and Gifts is kind of like if a Michael's or a Joann's had the vibe of a Cracker Barrel, because it had like that farm country store feel, but there were lots of craft supplies, which you would not see in a Cracker Barrel. And there were two employees there. Like, one of them was named Kiana, but both employees were very helpful. They greeted me like after I came in to make sure that I was perfectly fine, and Kiana checked me out with the yarns that I got. Turns out she loves little frogs too. She was just watching something on Facebook about like little tree frogs. I got the sock kit. I have seen these before in many of the stores. This is all over the place from Earth Yarns. But I wasn't interested in doing it until I realized this time I saw this was what the sock would look like. They promised to make matching socks. Like, they mentioned that the pattern is a QR code online. It's like, you know what? Let's try it. So that may be a video in the future. We'll see. And then this here is a yarn that changes color in the sun. So I don't know how well. It might be a time sensitive thing. I'm not entirely sure. This one I think is going to turn yellow. Yeah, this one's going to turn yellow. I actually saw this in one of the stores in Jersey, but I decided, even though I haven't tried it yet, I decided to get more. This is the other one. This one's going to turn pink. I can kind of see it now, actually. I don't know if you can see it. Like, you can kind of see it right there. And then this is a blue heron yarn. I saw blue heron yesterday, but I decided to get this today because, I mean, look at that. It's like glittery. It's like gold. It's sparkly. I don't know how well it's showing up, but it looks stunning in the sunlight. I can promise you that. And then they had a lot of Plymouth yarn there. I haven't really been picking up too much Plymouth because I've been seeing Plymouth in a lot of the different stores, so I didn't want to like over buy on Plymouth. But I saw this yarn, and this yarn is pretty stunning. I also saw this gray blue combination, but this one stood out to me more. This is Egyptian cotton, mercanized and gassed. And then this was another brand I saw here. It's like Araucania Lumco, but I mean, this is another like super sparkly yarn. Or shiny. It's shiny is probably the better word for it, yeah? And then this one, full impulse buy. This is a great Adirondack yarn. I mean, look at that. I don't know what I'm going to make with that yet, but that's going to be something fun. And then this yarn was on sale. It's a kaleidoscope yarn from EYB. I don't know what EYB is, but it seemed like a pretty good color. It's called Twinkle Star. I don't typically think of stars being green, but hey, it's a nice colorway. There was this other brand I don't recognize, but this yarn's called Calypso. I'm not sure if Calypso's the color or the type of yarn, but it feels like a cotton. All the information about what it actually is hidden. I don't feel like undoing it right now. And then this is another brand I saw. It's for the first time. It's called Dale Garn. This is stork, but I don't typically go for browns, but this brown was just stunning. Very, very stunning. So I decided to go for it. This was another brand I hadn't seen before. It's called Fiesta. This one's called Flirt. Can make it into something flirty, yeah. I mean, I have made a fur bikini in the past. It was not really comfortable. Yeah, this color's called Madrid. Hello.
You had fun.
I did have fun. And then this is also from Fiesta. This one's called Boomerang. I'm more likely to make something with this as well. And then this yarn was on sale. I'm not fond of the texture, but I like the colorway. It's another Plymouth yarn. I mean, look at that color. That color is super stunning. So at this point, I gotta figure out, I know one store closes sooner than the other. I think I got enough time to hit them both. I gotta see which one, like, how to maximize my time, yeah? So that way I don't come to one of the stores when it's closing, because I am kind of afraid that might happen. So I'm just gonna take some time to quickly figure out, maybe eat a bit of a snack, and then head on my way to the next store. I just came out of Mary Margaret's Mercantile, and it's a cute little store, very nice vibes to it. It's in the middle of this beautiful beach town that has like a view of the dock and or whatever the body of water is back there. It sells more than just yarn. So it's like a yarn, clothing, records, gifts in general. So a nice little eclectic thing. And it turns out Mary Margaret is not the name of the owner, it's the name of the owner's Scottish Terrier. So she named the store after her dog, which was very, very cute. And I got some yarns here and some brands that I haven't seen yet before, or some that I have seen in brands I have seen before, but I saw they were on sale. She had a very good sales area. It was not good for her when it came to ringing out because the computer ended up giving her a huge problem, and she ended up having to like give me one of them for free because it kept freezing on her, and she was kind of frustrated by that. Understandably, the computer was in the wrong there, but still very lovely yarns. So first is actually a tool. So Coco Knits creates a lot of tools. They have call clips. These are made to hold your pieces together as you're sewing them, and they're clear. These also look just like the hair clips that you often see, like 90s style butterfly clips. So I might end up using them as hair clips instead of knitting supplies. This was from a brand I hadn't seen before. It was Fiber Spates. Look at that gorgeous colorway. Ooh. It was like so pretty. It's so squishy, so soft. It's a DK yarn. This here, this is Clinton Hill Bespoke. It's a cashmere yarn. Very soft and fluffy. Like you can actually see, like it tells you the dye a lot underneath and the color, which is nice. And then these two are sock yarns in a brand I've never seen before. Tofruitsies, or Southwest Trading Company. Anyway, there is chitin in this yarn. Chitin is a crab. There is crab in this yarn. It's supposed to make it antibacterial. Yeah, shrimp and crab shells. I'd never seen that before. Or if I have, I'd forgotten about it, but we are back here again with it. And then this is a Sakya DK from Coop Knits. It's like a nice color, yeah. Ooh. This here I think is a cashmere. She mentioned the cashmere. Oh, no, this is merino wool and linen, yeah. It's Cafe Flamingo from another brand I hadn't seen before. Stolen Stitches, or Nua. But this is like nice, soft and fluffy. And this is another brand I've never seen before, Primrose Yarns, or if I had, I'd forgotten about it and I just came back along. But look at this pink. There's like some orange in it too. It's nice and vibrant. And then I saw these Dirty Water Dye Works pairing together. I did see Dirty Water Dye Works in, I think it was Knitwit, but I got like a different color. I just liked how these colors looked together. They looked very nice. Don't know what I'm gonna make with it. We're gonna find out. This was a Seven Sisters yarn that was on sale. It's a Zodiac one in raspberry. It's nice and fluffy. Here's the first troublemaker. This is Sugar Brush. It's an extra fine merino. I mean, look at that green. But this guy here refused to scan after his buddy scanned. It's like, you're a bad yarn, aren't you? It's like a nice squishy texture and the color is amazing. And then it was in the sale bin too. I mean, that's Sugar Brush, yeah. And then this was the one that was for free because it refused to scan. This is another Primrose yarn. I mean, look at that color. It's called Cosmos. Very pretty, yeah? Even though there was trouble with the scanning, the one thing that I'm incredibly grateful for that absolutely outweighed the frustration for me with the scanner was the fact that there was a bathroom there. I really needed to use the bathroom, and there was one there. I can already tell it's gonna be like a 2 Gatorade day. It's really hot out. Even though the door didn't quite lock like she told me about it beforehand, and there was like enough of a hallway that if someone opened the door, it wouldn't just open straight to me, which was nice. But yeah, I am incredibly grateful for that bathroom. Thank you very much. Yeah, at this point, I did go to the longer store because it was going to end sooner, and it's going to close in about an hour. The store that I just visited. I have one store left today. The passport says it closes at 5. Google says it closes at 4. If it closes at 4, it may be closed when I get there. If it closes at 5, I will be safe. So I'm going to trust the passport. I'm going to go out there because I'd rather hit it today when I'm like somewhat in the area than tomorrow, which even though I only have the one store tomorrow, it's in a completely different direction. I'm outside the last store that I wanted to attend to today, and it turns out Google was right. The passport was wrong. Quilts and Fabric closes at 4, not 5. So it's like 4:40. So it would have been cutting it close anyway. So I'm just gonna have to come back, which is not ideal, but it's doable. And this is the farthest store today from where I'm staying, so we're gonna have a long ride home. So I'm just gonna take a moment here to eat, refill the water. I ended up having to stop by another gas station because I just had to go. So I just gotta find some music and just ride along. Only hit 3 stores today, but I mean, it is what it is, yeah? You got traffic, you got the distance, it couldn't be helped. I'm back at where I'm staying, and in hindsight, like if I knew Google was correct and not the passport, I would have just started heading home right after Mary Margaret's. But instead, I got 2 hours of driving around in Bar Harbor near Acadia National Park, which, I mean, I like that area. My family went to Acadia National Park when I was 10 years old, I think, for a family vacation. It's one of the most memorable family vacations we've ever had. We were camping there for a week. And I would have appreciated being around it more if dehydration didn't hit me right then and there. Like, Becky, you need to take care of this. And when I saw I had to drive 3 hours, it's like, fortunately, Taylor Swift got me through most of it. Just that music and oh my gosh, I didn't really feel good until I hit the last rest area and I was able to just like, okay, the body is back to normal. We are no longer dehydrated. The silver lining here is I have a better understanding how West Gardner service area works. Unfortunately, they make you pay to go in and out underneath. It's right by a toll area. But it's a handy little rest area once you understand how the whole traffic circle around there works and like how the whole exit thing works. I mean, the traffic circle was easy peasy compared to the exit thing there. So now I gotta rearrange how I am going to be doing the stores because for the first time I am behind. I have 2 stores left in opposite directions. So I think it's gonna be another early day tomorrow. Anyway, I am back later than I thought I was going to be, so I'm going to go back in and prepare, I guess. Probably eat a meal too. I haven't had a meal for a while.